Ever feel like your paycheck just disappears? No matter how much you're making, the bank account just stays flat. Well, today we're going to dig into a pretty wild idea. What if the reason you're broke is your friends? Yeah, you heard me. Let's get right into it, because honestly, this could change everything for you. So just take a second. Really. Picture the 5 people you hang out with the most. I mean, really, picture them. Now ask yourself, what do their bank accounts look like? The idea here, and it's a tough one, is that your financial situation is basically a mirror image of theirs. It's kind of hard to hear, I know, but let's unpack just how true this might be. So that brings up a pretty uncomfortable question, right? Is your social circle, your comfort zone, actually a trap? Could the very same people you chill with be the ones who are, quietly keeping you right where you are? It's a heavy thought for sure, but we've got to go there. Okay, but look, we're not just here to point fingers and make you feel bad. No way. This is all about finding a solution. So, what we're going to do is break down 5 clear steps. A blueprint, really. A way for you to fix your environment and finally take control of your future. All right, let's jump right in. Step number 1. This is the big one because it's all about spotting a hidden cycle, a pattern that so many of us fall into without even realizing what's happening. It's called the payday trap, and I bet you know exactly what this feels like. The direct deposit hits, you feel rich for about 5 seconds, and then boom, it's gone. Poof. Usually spent on going out, having fun with friends, and yeah, it's great for a night, but it's absolutely brutal for your long-term goals. So how does this whole trap work? Well, it's simple, really. Your paycheck lands, your phone buzzes, it's the group chat. Yo, let's ball out tonight. Suddenly, there's this pressure, right? To keep up, to look cool. So you end up falling for that lifestyle inflation. Buying stuff you can't really afford just to impress people who, let's be honest, are probably stuck in the same exact cycle as you. Okay, so seeing the trap is the first part, but actually getting out of it, that's a whole different ballgame. It's an internal fight. And that leads us right to step number 2, which is all about what's going on inside your head. We've got to talk about the people-pleasing ego. You know that little voice in your head, the one that's terrified of making waves? It whispers, just say yes, don't upset anyone. You know you should be working on your goals, but your friend hits you up to go out on a weeknight, and that ego wins. You go because you don't want to be that person. Think about it like this. There are 2 ways to respond. There's the ego response, putting everyone else first, saying yes to everything, and then there's the growth response, putting yourself first for now. It's literally the oxygen mask rule on a plane. You have to put your own mask on first before you can help anyone else. It might feel selfish now to set those boundaries and say no, but it's what allows you to be generous and help others in a much bigger way down the road. So, you're starting to get a handle on that inner voice. Awesome. The next move is to get a handle on your outer world. And that brings us to step 3. This idea is, well, it's super simple, but man, is it powerful. Here it is. Your environment is an amplifier. It's not just sitting there. It's actively turning up the volume on whatever you bring to it. It takes your thoughts, your feelings, your mindset, and just cranks it up, for better or for worse. So the real question is, what are you feeding that amplifier? Let me just show you how this works. Picture this. You start your day with just a tiny bit of self-doubt, maybe about a new project you're trying to get off the ground. It's just a little whisper, totally manageable. It's barely there, a blip on the radar. But then you go hang out with your friends. And that friend group, they're complainers. They're critics. They spend the whole time gossiping and talking about how much everything sucks. And what happens? Boom, that tiny little seed of self-doubt gets amplified like crazy. It's a 10 out of 10 now. Look, you can't build a wealthy mindset if you're surrounded by broke thinking. Just like you can't train for a marathon if your diet is all junk food. It's that simple. Your environment is either an elevator or an anchor. It's lifting you up or it's dragging you down. Period. All right, so you get it. You decide, okay, I'm changing my environment. But what happens when the people in that environment notice you're changing? Uh-oh. That brings us to step 4. And trust me, this is a big one. This is where we have to deal with the other people's opinions ego. It's that fear of what everyone's going to say. Because when you stop going out every night and start waking up early to work on your dream, oh, they're going to notice. You can bet on that. And here's the cold, hard truth. Sometimes the people you thought were your biggest supporters become your biggest critics. Why? Because your new ambition is like a spotlight on their own inaction. Suddenly, all their insecurities get projected right onto you. They become haters. And you know what value haters add to your life? Absolutely zero. You have to learn to tune it out. Just ignore the noise. Which brings us to our final step, number 5. And I'm going to be honest, this is the toughest one for most people to swallow. It requires a huge mental shift, but if you can get this, it's where true freedom lies. It's about accepting the sacrifice of greatness. See, here's the thing. If you want to achieve something truly massive, there's a price of admission. And that price is often letting go of things that used to be fun. The casual hangouts, the last-minute plans. They stop being harmless fun and they become what they really are, distractions. The best way to think about it is this. You have to put yourself in a cage. Now, that sounds bad, I know, but it's not a prison. It's a cage of focus. It's you intentionally blocking out all the noise, all the distractions, so you can pour every ounce of your energy into your craft. Champions don't get distracted. They live in that cage. And really, that's the whole point of this. You weren't born to just fit in with everyone else. You were born to stand out. You were born to build an empire. So consider this your official permission slip to stop playing small. So, I'll leave you with this one final question, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Look at your circle. Who in your life is an amplifier, and who is a drain? Because the answer to that one question, it might just decide your entire future.